Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare.
Hare Krishna, Savitri Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances.
Hare Krishna.
This is Shyam Giridhari Das.
Shyam Giridhari Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances.
Today, unfortunately, Divyanam Prabhuji cannot join due to because we did a whole last night Jagaran for Nirjal. We did Kirtan, Bhajans, and yeah, I was taking rest.
Okay.
He could not join, Mataji. So
Okay, no problem. I see no one. Everybody did the same thing?
Some of the devotees, Mataji, not everybody, some of them. Maybe let's wait for a couple of minutes, Mataji. Maybe we can start, Mataji.
No problem. No problem.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Jai Shri Krishna. Hare Krishna, 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 Krishna. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, is that okay? We can start, Mataji. 3 minutes past the hour. Is that okay for you?
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, sure, Mataji.
I understand the devotees spend the night, chanting without sleeping. Yeah. I didn't know before.
Yeah, it was a last minute thing, Mataji, and hopefully some other devotees are maybe this, those who can join, they'll join.
Sarda
Yeah, she is doing good, Mataji, by Guru Maharaj's mercy, Krishna's mercy, all your mercy and blessings, Mataji. She is doing good.
Okay. So, yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, welcome to our ISKCON Richmond Saturday program. Today we will be having association of Grace Savitri Mataji from Mayapur. Just wanted to introduce Mataji. Mataji has been in ISKCON movement for more than 3 decades, and or maybe 3+ decades, and she's a disciple of His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Guru Maharaj, and she has been preaching in ISKCON movement since very, very long time, and she was also in Richmond, fortunately, and for a couple of years, and without wasting any more time, and Mataji will be giving us a class today on part 2 session of Panihati festival. The other name is Chira Dahi festival. Krishna Mataji would like to take it from here. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you everyone for joining us. So today is the second part of the Chiradahi Utsav, Panihati Chiradahi Utsav or Dando Mahotsav, Das Goswami Dando Mahotsav, given by Nityananda Prabhu, who celebrated this Chiradahi festival for our spiritual upliftment, for achieving our spiritual perfection. It's also known as the festival of union of devotee with Supreme Lord, Bhakta Bhagwan Milan. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrachatam Sagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Aripriye Vancha Kalpataru Vyascha Kripa Sindhu Vayevacha Patitanam Pavunebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. In the village of Panihati, where the festival took place, now Shravan Utsav is going on, whole day about Krishna Katha. So nice. Tomorrow will be big Chiradadi Mahotsav. Also in Shidamba Mayapur tomorrow will be big festival. So we heard up to the point that when Raghunath Das heard about Nityananda Prabhu's arrival in Panihati, and he's sitting under a tree with his associates, and they were having wonderful kirtan over there. By hearing Nityananda Prabhu has arrived in Panihati, he went there to meet with Nityananda Prabhu. Up to that point we heard. Now I'm reading the Bengali poem, and then we'll do the translation. And yes, that also we understood how Nityananda Prabhu give him a punishment, sweet punishment. What is that? To hold Chiradadhi Mahotsav, to feed all the associates of Sri Nityananda Prabhu and all the villagers. That was the sweet punishment for Raghunath Das Goswami, because Raghunath Das Goswami wanted to meet with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He wanted to dedicate his life in the service of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He wanted to stay with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And without Nityananda Prabhu's mercy or favor, nobody can be successful. This is the arrangement in Kali Yuga. So Nityananda Prabhu said, first you do that, then you will achieve the mercy of Gauranga Mahaprabhu and your goal of life will be fulfilled. So we did that. Now, festival part, how it unfolded. Sheikhane nije loke pathailo grame bhokkodrobbo lokosab gram hoite ane চিরাদুধি দুগ্ধ সন্দেশ আর কলা সব দ্রব্য আনাইয়া চৌদিকে ধরিলা মহোৎসব নাম শুনি ব্রাহ্মণ সজ্জন আসিতে লাগিলা লোক অসংখ্য গণন, আর গ্রামান্তর হইতে সামগ্রী আনিল, শত দুই চারি না তাহা আনাইল। বড় বড় মৃৎকুণ্ডিকা আনাইল ৫-৭, এক বিপ্র প্রভু লাগি চিরা ভিজায় তাতে, এক ঠাই তপ্ত দুগ্ধে চিরা ভিজাইয়া, অর্ধেক ছানিল দধি চিনি কলা দিয়া, অর্ধেক ঘনাবর্ত দুগ্ধেতে চানিল, চাপা কলা চিনি ঘৃত কর্পুতাতে দিল, ধুতি পরি প্রভু যদি পিণ্ডাতে বসিলাম, সাতকুণ্ডী বিপ্রতার আগেতে ধরিলা, চবুতারা উপর যত প্রভুর নিজগণ, বড় বড় লোক বসিলা মুন্ডিলা, মণ্ডলী বন্ধন. So now the English translation from this chapter is from Antya Leela, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita in chapter 6. So it's starting from 51. Make a festival and feed all my associates yogurt and chipped rice. Hearing this, Raghunath Das Goswami was greatly pleased. Raghunath Das immediately sent his own men to the village to purchase all kinds of eatables and bring them back. Raghunath Das brought chipped rice, yogurt, milk, sweetmeats, means sandesh, sugar, bananas, and other eatables, and placed them all around. Means everything brought by many people immediately. They were very happy for the festival. As soon as they heard that a festival was going to be held, all kinds of brahmanas and other gentlemen began to arrive. Thus, there were innumerable people. Soon the news spread all around and people started to come. 55. Seeing the crowd increasing, Raghunath Das arranged to get more eatables from other villages. He also brought 200 to 400 large and round earth pots or earthen pots. Yeah, mittik bhanda, earthen pots to serve and to soak the chipped rice with yogurt and other things, or sweet condensed milk. Let's hear how did they do it. He also obtained 5 or 6 especially large earthen pots, and in these pots a brahmana began soaking chipped rice for the satisfaction of Lord Nityananda. In one place, chipped rice was soaked in hot milk. In each of the large pots, then half the rice was mixed with yogurt, sugar, and bananas. 2 kinds of preparations were there. One in one side with, in the big earthen pot, chipped rice or flat rice were soaked in milk. And other side, chipped rice was soaked in yogurt, hot milk, and in other mixed with yogurt, sugar, bananas, and milk, sugar, sugar and bananas, and milk. So 2 types. The other half was mixed with condensed milk. Hot milk means condensed milk, and a special type of banana known as chapa cola. Then sugar, clarified butter, and camphor were added. Means chapa cola is very flavorful, a special kind of cola or banana. Sometimes I have seen in America, supermarkets, small sizes, yellow bananas. They are known as chapa cola, very fragrant. I don't know in other places, they look like same. Other places the chapa cola also available, but in Bengal it's available. Small yellow bananas. They're sweet and also special and fragrance. The other half was mixed with condensed milk. So condensed milk, chapa cola, sugar, ghee, clarified butter means ghee, and camphor. This camphor is edible camphor. Two types of camphors are available everywhere. One is edible, one is just chemical. With the chemical camphors, we do the arti. The temples, they do the arti. That is not natural, that is artificial. And natural edible camphor is also available. We add in some laddus or some sweet preparations, also in the preparation of chiradadhi. On that platform, all the most important associates of Sri Nityananda Prabhu as well as other important men sat down in a circle around Lord. So Nityananda Prabhu was sitting under the tree, and all his associates also sat around him under the tree. There's a high platform. Among them were Ramadas, Sundarananda, Gadadhara Das, Murari, Kamalakaro, Sadashiva, and Purandar. So this part I did not read. So I'm again reading from Bengali book. Ramdas, Sundarananda, Dasha Gadadhar, Murari, Kamalakaro, Sadashiv, Purandar, Dhananjay, Jagadish, Parameshwar Das, Mahesh, Gauri Das, Purut Krishna Das, Uddharan Datta Adi, Jato Nijo Jan, উপরে বসিলা সব কে করে গণন শুনি পণ্ডিত ভট্টাচার্য যত বিপ্র এলাম মান্য করি প্রভু সবারে উপরে বসাইলা দুই দুই মৃত কুণ্ডিকা সবার আগে দিল একে দুগ্ধ চিরা আর দধি চিরা কইল আর যত লোক সব চৌতারা দালানে মণ্ডলী বন্ধনে বসিলা নাহিক গণনে। So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami mentioning the very confidential associates of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. So Dhananjay, Jagadish, Parameshwar Das, Mahesh, Gauri Das, and Pura Krishna Das were also there. Similarly, Uddharan Datta, Thakur, and many other personal associates of the Lord sat on the raised platform with Nityananda Prabhu. No one could count them all. Practically, they could not count. Innumerable people came, thousands. Hearing about the festival, all kinds of learned scholars, brahmanas and priests were there. Lord Nityananda Prabhu honored them and made them sit on the raised platform with him. Everyone was offered 2 earthen pots. In one was put chipped rice with condensed milk, and in the other chipped rice with yogurt. So all the devotees were offered 2 pots of, the offering means that chipped rice. One was chipped rice soaked in condensed milk and banana, mixed with banana and sugar and clarified butter, ghee and camphor. Another one was chipped rice soaked in yogurt, and again banana, ghee, camphor, sugar, like that. Everyone was offered 2 earthen pots. All the other people sat in groups around the platform. No one could count how many people there were. Each and every one of them were supplied 2 earthen pots. One of chipped rice soaked in yogurt, and other of chipped rice soaked in condensed milk. Some of the brahmanas, not having gotten a place on the platform, went to the bank of the Ganges with their 2 earthen pots and soaked their chipped rice there. So the festival was, on the bank of Ganges in Panihati village, but not everybody could sit there. So we are going to hear some of them were also went into the water. Standing there, they soaked those. They were given chipped rice, milk in one pot, and yogurt in one pot, and other ingredients. They soaked themselves. Thus, some sat on the platform, some at the base of the platform, and some on the bank of the Ganges, and they were all supplied 2 pots each by 20 men who distributed the food. So we can imagine 20 men were, serving everyone. He brought many kinds of food cooked in ghee and offered to the Lord. This prasadam he first placed before Lord Nityananda and then distributed among the devotees. So not only chira dahi preparations or chira milk preparations, but also some other preparations also were there. And different types of fruits were also there. Right now, mango is in season, also in ripe jackfruit. We also, because this is breakfast preparation, we generally sometimes soak the chipped rice in yogurt or milk, and we add mango pulp in it, or jackfruit, sweet jackfruit juicy pulp in it, we add besides banana. So it makes more wonderful. Also, not only just sugar, but also some rasgullas or some sandesh also we mix. In this way, we have nice preparation. Here in Shidam Mayapur, our Guru Maharaj's Samadhi Mandir is here. Every day, the program is in the 4:10 a.m. Devotees perform Mangalarti. Then in the morning, devotees offer this chira dahi preparation all year long. But they add different things in chira dahi preparation as a breakfast to our Guru Maharaj in the morning. Sometimes they mix with some cake also. It's very interesting. But every morning, chira dahi or chira doodh and sweet and sugar and banana or the fruits in the season or some other preparation like a piece of cake or sandesh or other things. That is called, what is called? Ras malai mixed. Very wonderful. So there also Raghava Pandit said to Lord Nityananda, "For you, sir, I have already offered food to the deity, but you are engaged in a festival here, so the food is lying there untouched." Raghava Pandit house was in Panihati village. Raghava Pandit also was an associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. As we know, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu resides eternally in 4 places. One is in Shachimata's house, and Shiva Sangan second, third is Panihati Chiradahi festival, and 4th is Raghava Pandit's house. We are going to hear, if time permits, why this point is there. So Lord Nityananda replied, okay, right now we are having nice festival. Maybe night time I'll have that prasad in your home. I belong to a community of cowherd boys, and therefore I generally have many cowherd associates with me. I'm happy when we eat together in a picnic like this by the sandy bank of the river. Lord Nityananda was narrating this. Lord Nityananda was remembering in Vrindavan Leela how Krishna and Balaram would have picnic at the bank of river Yamuna, open space, having fun while sharing food. So the same kind of festival was enacted in Panihati village on the bank of Ganga. So Lord Nityananda made Raghava Pandit sit down and had 2 parts delivered to him. There were 2 kinds of chipped rice soaked in them. When chipped rice had been served to everyone, Lord Nityananda Prabhu in meditation brought Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This point also very important, as we know that we must, as we know that Raghunath Das had intense desire, intense hankering, longing, yearning to meet with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and to surrender his life to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's shelter. He did not have any desire to live in a household life, but he wanted to be with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that was his goal. He tried many times. He was not able to achieve that, but by the mercy of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, finally he achieved. So we are also learning to have a goal, how to go back to Krishna. Means how to enter into the eternal pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan Dham. That is our goal. Just like we say, Nitya Leela Pravishta, Nitya Leela Pravishta Jayum, Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa, Paribraja Kacharya, Ashtatara Shatashi Shimat, Abhay Charnaro Binda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Same way we must also honor our Gurudev, Nitya Leela Pravishta. Om Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Paribraja Kacharya Ashtatara Shatashi Shimat Bhakti Charu Swami Guru Maharaj Ki Jai. Because they have already joined the eternal pastimes in Shri Vrindavan Dham. And that is also our goal. If we do not have any goal, how can we achieve the goal? And that is, the specialty of human being. If we do not have any spiritual goal in life, then it's just an animal life actually. Because animals have the material goal. If we have the same kind of material goal, just eating, sleeping more elaborately or in more opulent way, then we are not better than them. In Srimad Bhagavatam it is said. So we must have the goal and we must pursue the goal. So Mahaprabhu already said to Raghunath Das Goswami before that internally you increase the desire for meeting Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for meeting Krishna actually. Increase your attachment for Krishna internally. At the same time, become more and more detached from family life or your material activities. So he pursued that and ultimately he achieved the goal. This is also for us. Internally, we must increase our attachment for Krishna by constant chanting. This is the process. And begging for the mercy of Sri Gurudev and Nityananda Prabhu, Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And ultimately will be united with Shri Radha Krishna in Sri Vrindavan, in Nitya Leela, eternal pastimes. Because we are all Krishna's associates. Although right now we are fallen, but we can be again in that original place. Can be elevated to our original place. So now we are reading more. So in meditation, Nityananda Prabhu in meditation brought Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So beautiful. This is spiritual life. Always remembering Krishna and meditating on Krishna, keeping the mind always on Krishna. When you offer food to the Lord, we must meditate that the Lord is taking prasad or bhoga or our offerings. Meditation is very important here. To see Krishna everywhere, to meditate that Krishna is within my heart, Krishna is everyone's heart, Krishna is all pervading. Very important to purify our consciousness and achieving the sweet, loving relationship with Krishna. So Nityananda Prabhu in meditation brought Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived, Lord Nityananda Prabhu stood up. They then saw how the others were enjoying the chipped rice with yogurt and condensed milk. Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu both were witnessing. From each and every part, Lord Nityananda Prabhu took one morsel of chipped rice and pushed it into the mouth of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a joke. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also smiling took a morsel of food, pushed it into the mouth of Nityananda and laughed as he made Lord Nityananda eat it. As we know, 7 big parts of dahi chira and milk and chira preparations were offered to Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So from all the parts, they took some morsel of food and fed each other, Nityananda Prabhu and Gauranga Mahaprabhu. In this way, they were enjoying, just like Krishna Balaram used to enjoy in the bank of Yamuna in the picnic with the sakhas, with the boyfriends, with his friends. In this way, Lord Nityananda was walking through all the groups of eaters, and all the Vaishnavas standing there were seeing the fun. So nice. No one could understand what Nityananda Prabhu was doing as he walked about. Some, however, who were very fortunate could see that Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was also present. The pure heart in meditation can see Lord everywhere. And during the festival also, they saw it. Then Nityananda Prabhu smiled and sat down. On his right side, he kept 4 parts of chipped rice and that had not been made from boiled paddy. So chipped rice prepared from two kinds of rice. One is parboiled rice and another is just raw rice. Means not rice, paddies, they press the paddies so it becomes flat, chipped rice. So it is best to offer which is not been boiled, just raw paddies, then pressed it, and the rice comes out and the husk is separated. Seeing Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu eating with him, Lord Nityananda Prabhu became very happy and exhibited varieties of ecstatic love. It's so beautiful, The festival in the presence of Gauranga Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu is simply a festival of love. And who is Gauranga Mahaprabhu again? He is the Radha Krishna Minato Tonu. In one body, Shri Radha and Krishna together is known as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, combined form of Sri Krishna and Sri Radha. Lord Nityananda Prabhu ordered, all of you eat, chanting holy name of Hari. Immediately the holy names, Hari, Hari, resounded, filling the entire universe. Means the devotees who were sitting all around on the bank of Ganga, somewhere in the water also, they were all first chanting Hari, Hari, Hare Krishna Mahamantra and eating also. Like that. When all the Vaishnavas were chanting the holy name Hari, Hari and eating, they remembered how Krishna and Balaram ate with their companions, the covered boys on the bank of the Yamunas. This meditation is very purifying our mind must enter into Vrindavan. Our minds must enter into the Vrindavan Leela, Krishna Balaram, or Krishna's pastimes with Mother Yashoda and Father Nanda Maharaj, or Krishna's pastimes with the boyfriends, or Krishna's pastimes with the gopis. When our mind is already entered into Leela, thinking of Leela Smaranam, and with a goal to enter into eternal Leela, we always keep our mind on Krishna, then one day that goal will be achieved. All of a sudden, it doesn't happen. Whole life, if we keep the mind on the family, friends, and possessions, material, name and fame, then all of a sudden, can we enter into the eternal Leela of Krishna in Vrindavan? No. Just routine chanting, routine performance of bhakti will not take us there. It's intense hankering, intense desire to achieve the goal of life, going back to God and entering into the eternal pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan, and constant remembering Lord and his pastimes and chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra under the shelter of Sri Spiritual Master, Gurudev, Vaishnava Scripture and Lord. And remembering the mercy of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, and surrendering the life to them. Without doing that, it's impossible. First, we are not having a goal even. Do we hanker, do we desire to enter into the eternal pastimes, Nitya Leela? That's the point. So they were remembering that pastimes of Banu Bhojan on the bank of Yamuna, of Krishna Balarams with his companions. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda Prabhu are extremely merciful and liberal. It was Raghunath Das's good fortune that they accepted all these dealings. This is actually wonderful blessings, because Nityananda Prabhu revealed this desire. You can serve all the Vaishnavas by holding a festival and feed the Vaishnavas. And Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu will be happy with you, and he will accept you as his very confidential internal associate. This is our great good fortune if we can be accepted by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. But by hook or crook, we must come under the shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. Beg for their acceptance. We must beg for their mercy and accepting us and engaging us in their service, which will be very pleasing for them. So all the confidential devotees who were covered boys headed by Sri Ramadas were absorbed in ecstatic love. They thought the bank of the Ganges to be the bank of the Yamuna, because Nityananda Prabhu's associates mostly were the covered boys, and they also appeared in Gauranga Leela. So with them, Nityananda Prabhu was performing this special pastime. When the shopkeepers of many other villages heard about the festival, they arrived there to sell chipped rice, yogurt, sweetmeats, and bananas. The news spread all over. So from different villages also, the shopkeepers came with their goods. Then what happens? As they came, bringing all kinds of food, Raghunath Das purchased it all. He gave them the price for their goods and later fed them with the very same food. He purchased everything. As you know, he was the son of a very rich person, Govardhan Majumdar. But he was using the money, in the transcendental devotional service to Lord Nityananda by feeding the Vaishnavas and holding this beautiful festival, and as if they were transferred to the Vrindavan on the bank of Yamuna. They're holding this festival simultaneously. It's so beautiful. We may live here, but mind, heart can be in Vrindavan, should be in Vrindavan, as if we are living there. That's the thing. Every item can remind us about Vrindavan, like trees, houses, animals, cows, birds, sky, land, water, mountain, river. In Vrindavan Dham also they are there. If we remember the mountain, what is that? Girivar mountain. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Ballava Girivara Dhari Yashodanandan Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Bonachari Giriraj Maharaj Govardhan, Giri Govardhan mountain. Any mountain, by seeing any mountain, we can remember Govardhan. By seeing any river, we can remember Yamuna. Consciousness should go there. That's the point. We may live here anywhere. It doesn't matter. Trees, Kalpabriksha tree. Seeing the birds, all are birds in Vrindavan, of Vrindavan Dham, cows, Krishna's cows, Krishna's birds, Krishna's animals, Krishna's land. There also the earth, water, air, fire, everything is there. All are spiritual, transcendental. So in this way, we can live in Vrindavan Dham in our mind. Anyone who came to see how these funny things were going on was also fed chipped rice, yogurt, and bananas. No one was without this, nice preparation. After Lord Nityananda Prabhu finished eating, he washed his hands and mouth and gave Raghunath Das the food remaining in the 4 parts. So when everyone already eaten or taken prasad, the chipped rice soaked in milk in 1 part, chipped rice soaked in yogurt, and also bananas and sweetmeats and clarified butter and camphor. So out of 7 big parts offered to Lord Nityananda, somewhere left. So he gave to Raghunath Das the remaining food in the 4 parts. There was food remaining in the 3 other big parts of Lord Nityananda, and the Brahmana distributed it to all the devotees, giving a morsel of. Devotees are very liberal. They share everything with other devotees. That makes Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, very happy. We must share everything, the philosophy, and the prasad and the house, inviting devotees in the house for kirtan, holding kirtan, or reading Srimad Bhagavatam together. Reading group is very important. By understanding the books, or reading the books, we understand the Leelas. In Shridham Mayapur, this is going on very nicely under the instruction of Srila Jayapataka Maharaj. Devotees, they come together in house, not so big in number, few devotees together, and they read. Systematically, they read from Srimad Bhagavatam or other books. Online, it can be done weekly, once or twice, like that. So in this way, we can share the realizations, and we can understand the philosophy very nicely, deeply. And it is required. Then a Brahmana brought a flower garland, placed the garland on Nityananda Prabhu's neck, and smeared sandalwood pulp all over his body. When a servant brought betel nuts and offered them to Lord Nityananda. The Lord smiled and chewed them. So in this way, after having the festival, personal service to Nityananda Prabhu also went on. With his own hands, Lord Nityananda Prabhu distributed to all the devotees whatever flower, garlands, sandalwood, pulp, and betel nuts remained. After receiving the remnants of food left by Lord Nityananda Prabhu, Raghunath Das was greatly happy, ate some and distributed the rest among his own associates. So sharing is very important part in our spiritual life, sharing and caring. Very important. Having loving relationship with the devotees and also distributing the holy name to others, very important. By doing so, we progress in our spiritual life. With this service attitude, we progress very nicely in our spiritual life. And our heart becomes so happy, satisfied. Nityananda Prabhu rested for the day, and when the day ended, he went to the temple of Raghava Pandit and began congregational chanting of the holy name of the Lord. So the whole day festival means first festival was held on the bank of Ganga as Chiprais Mahotsav, Dadichira Mahotsav. And in the evening time, there was also a big festival of holy name, Kirtan, congregational chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. In Raghav Pandit's house, there also Mahaprabhu appeared. So story is coming because it is related with this Chiradadi Mahotsav because Raghunath Das again will request Sri Nityananda Prabhu to bless him. And Nityananda Prabhu will then, predict that yes, soon you will be getting shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will put you under the care of Swarup Damodar Prabhu. Not to worry about anything now. So so in the night time, in the evening time, there was a great Harinam Sankirtan in Raghav Pandit's house. Lord Nityananda Prabhu first influenced all the devotees to dance, and finally he himself began dancing, thus inundating the entire world in ecstatic love. So Chiradadi Utsav also followed by great Harinam Sankirtan. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was observing the dancing of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu could see this, but the others could not. So as we know, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also always present when Nityananda Prabhu would dance. So he appeared there also. Others could not see. No one can properly describe the sweetness of Lord Nityananda's dancing. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally comes to see it. After the dancing and after Lord Nityananda had rested, Raghava Pandit submitted his request that the Lord take supper. Lord Nityananda Prabhu sat down for supper with his personal associates and made a sitting place on his right side for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu may come and also have the supper. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came there and sat down at his place. Seeing this, Raghava Pandit felt increasing happiness. Raghava Pandit brought the prasadam before the two brothers and thereafter distributed prasadam to all the other Vaishnavas. So this is the point. Any festival must be accompanied by food distribution or prasad distribution. It's so wonderful. As we know, that Krishna consciousness means chanting, dancing, and feasting. It's fact. Lord Nityananda Prabhu and Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu did the same thing. So when three things are there, then everything is proper, correct. So this is the point. There were varieties of cakes, sweet rice, and fine cooked rice that surpassed the taste of nectar. There were also varieties of vegetables. The food prepared and offered to the deity by Raghava Pandit was like the essence of nectar. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came there again and again to eat such prasadam. So in this way, 4 places are famous for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance, or eternally he comes there or stays there. When Raghava Pandit offered the food to the deity after cooking, he would make a separate offering for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Every day, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would eat at the house of Raghava Pandit. Sometimes he would give Raghava Pandit the opportunity to see him. So this is also very beautiful. When we make any offering to Lord, we must meditate the Lord himself is, accepting the offerings. Surrender means also offering oneself to Krishna. So in meditation, we also see that Krishna has given his shelter, the lotus feet of Lord. Mind should be always on Krishna. Mind should be always on the mercy of Krishna. Krishna is unlimitedly merciful. And we are his parts and parcels. We are his own. And we must also make Krishna as our own. That's the point. Just like we have intimacies with our family members. And all together, how much intimacy we should have for Krishna, because he is eternally our own. The family members are not eternally our own. They are coming and going. We are coming and going. So that's the point. Sometimes he would see. Now, one nice point also there that Srimati Radharani Srimati Radharani used to cook in Raghava Pandit's house. So the prasadam was very first class, aromatic, pleasing. So all that, and now one thing we are going to understand that in Raghava Pandit's house, Raghunath Das also went in that Mahasankirtan and prasad, accepting the prasad. So then he made a plea to Sri Nityananda Prabhu through Raghava Pandit. What he said, Raghunath Das went there and worshipped Lord Nityananda's lotus feet. Through Raghava Pandit, he submitted his desire again. I am the lowest of men, the most sinful, fallen, and condemned. Nevertheless, I desire to attain shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is the point. Constant desire should be there until you are succeed. You are succeeded until you achieve the shelter. That's the point. Remain under the shelter and always seeking the shelter. So he said again, he's saying more. Every time I tried to go away and give up my home relationships, my father and mother unfortunately kept me bound. No one can attain the shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu without your mercy. Means Nityananda's mercy. But if you are merciful, even the lowest of the men can attain shelter at his lotus feet, means Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's. Although I am unfit and greatly afraid to submit this plea, I nevertheless request you, sir, to be especially merciful toward me by granting me shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we can do it. We all have most of our, family. I mean to say in Richmond, most of the families have Gaur Nita in their houses. So we must plead to Nityananda Prabhu for granting the shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is the way we are learning how to achieve the mercy, proper mercy from Lord Nityananda and Lord Gauranga. Very scientifically, very specifically, we are understanding what to desire, what to pray, and what to get. So he is saying that by granting the shelter at the lotus feet, granting me the shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then he requested to Nityananda Prabhu, placing your feet on my head, give me the benediction that I may achieve the shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu without difficulty. I pray for this benediction. Such wonderful. With so much great feeling and in a humble mood, in a very helpless way, Raghunath Das was praying to Sri Nityananda Prabhu. This is the way our spiritual life should be. After hearing this appeal by Raghunath Das, Lord Nityananda Prabhu smiled and told all the devotees, Raghunath Das's standard of material happiness is equal to that of Indra, the king of heaven, because of the mercy bestowed upon him by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Raghunath Das, although situated in such material happiness, does not like it at all. Therefore, let every one of you be merciful toward him and give him the benediction that he may very soon attain shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's just opposite of my material life. Material prosperity is not the real favor from God. Material success, material prosperity, name and fame is not the real kindness and mercy, blessings from the Supreme Lord. To become disgusted from the, about the material life is the real mercy. To become detached. Why? For a purpose. To achieve the shelter. We may say, okay, I should maintain both. It doesn't happen. Because spiritual life is like light. Material life is darkness. We know the famous verse from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Krishna Surjo Samo Maya Hoy Andhakar. Jaha Krishna Taha Nahi Mayar Udhikar. Where is Krishna, there is light. And where is Maya, there is darkness. We are trying to mix the light and darkness together, like sunlight, Surja Samo. Surja means sun planet. We are trying to mix the light of sun with the darkness. Can they stay together? No. Soul is conscious and Maya is jada, is matter. We are trying to mix both together. That's why there's so much struggle and conflict. It's impossible. We want to progress in two ways. It is not possible. We may say that many kings were like that. Yes, like Ambarish Maharaj. But what was his internal feeling? Sabai mana Krishna padara vindayor. His mind was completely absorbed at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Although he was a king, but he was a rishi, Rajarshi. We may live in the household life, but in the heart we should be completely surrendered to lotus feet, at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, constantly desiring how to achieve him, how to enter into Nitya Leela. Mind should be always in Vrindavan, in remembering Krishna's pastimes and seeking the blessings and mercy from Lord Nityananda. Again and again, same point is coming up. The Raghunath Das Goswami did this. So he said, one who experiences the fragrance of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna does not value even the standard of happiness available in Brahmaloka the topmost planet, and what to speak of heavenly happiness. Because this is our material, and with the material desire, we are stuck within the wheel of birth and death. By our having material desire, we can predict our future. We have to come back again. You're not going to be released from the cycle of birth and death. But we are so foolish, that at the cost of repeated birth and death, we still desire material things. Not having pure desire for Krishna's service, total dedication for Krishna is not that desire is there. More he is speaking. These are spoken by Lord Nityananda about Raghunath Das. Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is offered sublime, poetic prayers by those trying to attain his favor. Thus he is known as Uttama Shloka. Being very eager to gain the association of Lord Krishna, King Bharata, although in the prime of youth, gave up his very attractive wife, affectionate children, most beloved friends, and opulent kingdom, exactly as one gives up stool after excreting it. Then Lord Nityananda Prabhu called Raghunath Das near him, placed his lotus feet upon Raghunath Das's head, and it began to speak. Again, he was blessing, bestowing blessing and benediction. What is that? My dear Raghunath Das, he said, since you arranged the feast on the bank of the Ganges, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came here just to show you his mercy. By his causeless mercy, he ate the chipped rice and milk. Then, after seeing the dancing of the devotees at night, he took his supper. So, these two things are so powerful because one must have the feeling for emotions, for emotional connection for it. It's not just function. No, here emotion is involved. Feeling is involved. I'm offering myself the lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu and Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Gaura Hari came here personally to deliver you. Now rest assured that all the impediments meant for your bondage are gone. This assurance is coming from Nityananda Prabhu. So this is our good fortune that somehow or other we came in contact with the ISKCON, and we got the opportunity to know who is Nityananda Prabhu and Gauranga Mahaprabhu. They are the same Krishna Balaram or Lord Ramachandra and Lakshmana. And in this age of Kali, the special arrangement has been made for us to deliver from the birth of, from the cycle of birth and death and achieve our highest goal, going back home, back to Godhead. Then he says more, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will accept you and place you under the charge of his secretary, Swarup Damodar. You will thus become one of the most confidential internal servants and will attain shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So clearly now Nityananda Prabhu spoke about the good fortune of Sri Raghunath Das. Being assured of all these, return to your own home very soon without impediments. You will attain shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Nityananda had Raghunath Das blessed by all the devotees, and Raghunath Das offered his respects to their lotus feet. Means Raghunath Das also offered his respectful obeisances to all the devotees at that place. And also they blessed him. After taking leave of Lord Nityananda Prabhu and then all the other Vaishnavas, Sri Raghunath Das consulted secretly with Raghava Pandit. So after that, actually, he started to find an opportune moment to run away from the home. So he got that opportunity. His spiritual master was Yadunandan Acharya. By his blessings and by his help, he ran away one day, and he reached Jagannath Puri after 12 days. It took 12 days because at that time everybody would go anywhere on foot. He just ran. He covered 32 miles a day. In this way, after 12 days, he reached Sri Jagannath Puri, where Mahaprabhu was there, surrounded by all his associates. There he went and paid his full obeisances and said, I have come to your lotus feet, please give me your shelter. And Mahaprabhu was very happily accepted Sri Raghunath Das. Happily he placed him under the care of Swarup Damodar Goswami, and he requested that, O Swarup, you may think him as your son or as your servant and take care of Sri Raghunath Das. He became renounced. So after that, he was named as Raghunath Das Goswami. And he became internal devotee of an internal associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There also Raghunath Das, asked about personal instruction, how to progress in spiritual life. So that instruction was very beautiful. It's for everyone that Amani Manodohiya Krishna Lam Shadalove Broje Radha Krishna Seva Manushe Kurive. Always think of Krishna in Vrindavan. In your mind, always serve the lotus feet of Shri Radha Krishna in Vrindavan. In your mind. And always remain very humble, never desire any honor from others. Always ready to give honors to others. And constantly chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That is in third number of Sikshashtakam. Same thing. In this way, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami became the internal associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, means he would serve Radha Krishna in Vrindavan in his spiritual part, in a very intimate way. So this whole narration is very auspicious for us to hear and remember and meditate, and having the same kind of desire in us, in our hearts. The one day we must get the shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Radha Krishna combined form. That means we can enter into the eternal pastimes of Shri Radha Krishna in Vrindavan. Okay. In this way, in 2 sessions, we heard the whole narration of Chiradadhi Mahotsav, Panihati Chiradadhi Mahotsav, or Das Goswami's Danda Mahotsav. So thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji. When you were giving the class, as if it's like it's in front of my eyes, like, the visioning. It's so touching, Mataji. So fantastic, a nice class, Mataji. And Panihati festival or Chiradahi festival, very so nice, Mataji. And do you have a couple of minutes, Mataji, or a few minutes for any questions? If anyone has any questions or anything.
Yeah, I have time. If there is any question and comment.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Looks like there is a question from Janava Thakuri Rani Mataji. Mataji, please unmute your line. You can ask the question, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dhanavrat, thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity. I just have a comment for Mataji, and just wanted to share that when we were talking about how we have to present ourselves with feelings and emotions whenever we are serving the Lord. So that was very true, that whenever we are offering any gift to, or any form of service to anybody also, regardless if it is family members or co-workers, so that really touched my heart. But at the same time, when we are doing devotional services, we have to have that emotion, that intent, and the feeling that we are offering ourselves with love, whatever small little effort we are making. So thank you, Mataji. Just a comment, I just had that in mind. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you.
Anyone else has any questions or comments?
Okay.
Looks like no one, Mataji.
All right.
Now
I see
it's yeah, Shamala Gopika Mataji mentioning compliments, Mataji. Yeah, now
Thank
I would
you.
like to request all the devotees to unmute and turn on your videos, because we all know Mataji very well, so the Mataji can see us, and we can convey our gratitude to Mataji.
Tomorrow you will have the Chiradahi festival.
Yes, Mataji.
So yeah, so praying for that. The festival will be a great, grand success.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Richmond.
Yeah.
As we are going to also have this Chiradahi Danda Mahotsav in our Siddham Mayapur.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It will be a great.
Yeah.
So
Thank you very much, Mataji. Dandavut pranama. All goes to Srila
Thank
Prabhupada.
you. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. All the best wishes for all of you for this festival. So if there's nothing, so we can end the class now.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Vancha kalpataru vyascha kripa sindhu patitanam pavanam Shri Gaurnitai ki jai, Shri Raghunath Das Goswami ki jai, Chiradudi Mahotsav ki jai, Danda Mahotsav ki jai, Panihati Chiradahi Mahotsav ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Good
Krishna.
night. Good night.
Good night, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Bye.
so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.